Welcome back, guys. I'm Brian J. And yeah, I'm alive, sort of, kind of. How are you guys? This is kind of exciting, kind of nerve-wracking. Honestly, you guys have seen that I've been kind of away from pageantry, but my country cannot keep me away from the passion that runs through my blood, which is pageantry. So today, my return video is actually my top 10 prediction for Miss Universe Puerto Rico 2025. And I'm super excited to be back. I'm super excited to see if you guys are still interested in hearing my opinions. And yeah, I'm here and I'm excited. I'm very excited. Now, I do want to talk a little bit overall about what the contestants or how the contestants are in my view. This year, I feel like, I kind of feel like we say this every year, but this year is probably one of the weakest batches in a long time. We don't have any veterans. Most of them are all new girls, if not all of them, which is something that pageant fans, especially in Puerto Rico, have been asking for. They've wanted just fresh, new, beautiful girls that no one has seen, and they got it, but people are still complaining. I do understand that this is a really small group. I think that the organization did something that maybe wasn't the best. Well, there's a lot that they could have done better, but we'll get into that in a second. I want to close out with the contestants. I feel like there has been a nice evolution in a lot of the contestants. Could there be more? Yes. Was it enough to find a solid top 5? I think it's enough, and we're gonna see it now when I reveal my top 5. But yeah, now let's get into kind of the specifics and my thoughts about overall how the Miss Universe Puerto Rico organization has been running. So I think that the decline of so many contestants is a direct reflection of how, or the perception of people in Puerto Rico and contestants, their perception. It keeps going down every single year. And it could be a bunch of factors. It could be the ongoing, controversies that keep happening and occurring at Miss Universe. It could be the high pricing of fees and inscriptions and all that entails competing in a pageant, because it's very, very expensive. It's not for poor people, honestly. It's very, very hard, and especially in Puerto Rico, where there is such expectation that you have to compete at a very, very high level. So I think that compared or together with all the things that I just mentioned really make that it just declines every single year in the terms of contestants. And I think that it's really the job of the organization to find a way to incentivize and make people excited again about competing in Miss Universe Puerto Rico. So yeah, I hope that works. Again, something that keeps happening every single year. They hide the contestants for a very long time, and I think it makes people anxious and forget about the contestants, honestly, and forget that Miss Universe Puerto Rico is happening. So I think that they need to find a good balance of activities and things that they can do that people will be excited and will remember and talk about Miss Universe, and also will make the contestants want to compete, because you want to compete in a pageant and you want to feel like you got your money's worth, like you got something out of it. And a lot of time these girls are just waiting, doing nothing. Ideally they should be preparing, but in reality, yeah, you're preparing, but preparing for what? People want to see you, people want to, you want to take advantage of that opportunity that you have. Another thing is that a lot of pageant fans in Puerto Rico have been complaining about the preliminary and the show. Preliminary wise, again, no audience. It was closed off to the public. I'm not exactly sure why they do this. I don't know if this is the only thing I can think of in a production type of way. If it's just logistically better for them in terms of what they spend and the production aspect of everything. I don't know if that's why, or if it's because, again, production wise, if they want to control the narrative of what they want people to believe happened during that preliminary. I don't know if it could be that. But fans are expecting something more, and it's not happening. They keep saying it every single year, and it stays the same. So it's disappointing. It's sad. I also think that, in general, the organization needs to do something to kind of revamp the pageant. It's right now the preliminary was very like basic, it was like a copy paste of every single year. And I think that they're really missing out in the opportunity of doing something really big, especially when the owners of the organization, of the franchise, is a television company. It's very disappointing, very confusing, because they should be taking advantage, especially in an age where, mind you, in Puerto Rico, it's really big right now. Reality TV shows, reality competition shows like Objetivo Fama, La Casa de los Famosos, and a bunch of other ones. It's really weird how they're not capitalizing on that and bringing that and transforming it into something related to Miss Universe Puerto Rico. Even having Miss Universe Latina, like it should have been a light bulb in their head of being like, oh, maybe we should do something similar because this is the direction that Miss Universe is kind of headed. And it just keeps being the same. And it's kind of boring. The show feels uninspired. There's no real, I don't know, it feels like there's no real thought behind the show. It's just like, let's get this done and move over and move on. And I really hope that they bring the excitement that it used to have. Anyways, that was a very long rant. Let's go straight into this. I'm gonna talk to you about what you guys are all here for, and that's the top 10 for Miss Universe Puerto Rico. First up, I have Caguas. Now, Caguas evolution, that's what I think of when I want to describe her. Her swimsuit competition was solid. I can tell you that this girl just has a very big difference. You can tell that she's been working hard, and I think that she should be recognized and be in the top 10. She deserves it. I also think that her evening gown was perfection. The overall look was solid. You can tell that her team or her really studied, really made sure that she looked expensive and ready. So I would not be surprised if she sneaks in and throws sand in our eyes and gets into that top 5. So anything's possible. Next up, I have Fajardo. Now, Fajardo, girl, she was feeling it. She was feeling it in swimsuit. You could tell that she was having a really good time. And again, she's another girl that has transformed. And I think that her competition is enough to make her get a top 10 spot. So I'm excited to see what happens with her as well. After that, we have Carolina. Now, Carolina had a solid performance. She is another one, and I'm going to keep on repeating the word transformation. The transformation that these girls have had, or some of these girls have had, is really, really wild. And I'm really proud of her as well. I think that Carolina has a really good team. The only thing that I could say about her is that she needs to have a little bit more of naturality when she speaks. When she speaks, when she emotes, when she talks to people, I think that she still is in that like Miss kind of era, and she needs to be a little bit more natural, a little bit more her, and actually give us her opinions. A little bit more naturality, I think, will be something that will help her a lot. Her evening gown, perfection. You can tell they studied, they looked for something that would work with her, and it would elevate her and make her look the best she can, and it worked. She was great. Then I have Miss Vieques. Now, Vieques is stunning. There is, I'll be honest, there is facially, I think it's maybe the harsh kind of like futures that I'm not maybe a fan of. It kind of reminds me of Carla Guilfou. But I will have to say that she is a really strong speaker. Her body is insane. You can tell that she has hunger for this competition. And then also overall, her looks were great. On stage, she looked really well. Having that hair loose kind of distracted a little bit from having those harsh futures. And I think that it was a very, very, very good decision to do. And again, another one that just speaks really well, and I would not be surprised if she sneaks into that top 5. Next, and rounding up this top 10, is Ponce. Now, Ponce is freaking stunning. There are some bad things or some issues regarding her. She's stunning, she speaks great. Unfortunately, she's shorter, and it's very noticeable. It's very noticeable, and the reality is, while I don't care if you're short or tall, the reality is that in Puerto Rico, the majority of Miss Universe Puerto Ricos, or I would say all of them, are not short. And it's very hard for someone of that stature to win a Miss Universe crown because of that standard that Puerto Ricans already have. Now, I will say that apart from that, her walk was not very good. The walk could have been way better. And I'm surprised. I'm surprised because I saw a really good evolution in her. And for some reason, the walk just needs a whole overhaul. It was not it. But I do think that she is another one that could potentially sneak into the top 5 if we can have a more decent walk. But yeah, I'm excited to see more from her. I hope that she competes in another pageant because she deserves to represent Puerto Rico. Now we're moving on to the top 5. I will mention this before I get to the top 5. I had a lot of problems with a lot of gowns. And I actually have, it's really weird because I have a lot of problems with a lot of girls that I have in my top 5's gowns, if that makes sense. But I do have some of my favorite gowns in this top 5 as well. So it's a little off balance, but here it goes. Top 5, I am going to continue with Trujillo Alto. Now, Trujillo Alto, the evolution that this girl has had from the casting to now is mind-boggling. She's a volleyball player. She obviously had a body that was maybe a little bit harsher, and you can tell that she has taken the time to soften up her looks for stage and for this pageant, and she has been doing overall really well. I think that with just how I mentioned with Carolina, I think that she needs to add a little bit more naturality to the way that she talks so she can connect with people and be a little bit more fluid. I think she still has that little chip of, oh, I need to answer perfect. And no, you need to answer well, but you need to answer with what you're feeling. So I think that's my only thing for her. And then also on the gown side, I actually really like this gown. I just think that it needed more drama. The gown itself looks very dramatic and it has like this gold lining on the breast area, and it's super cool, super different. But I think that that little piece of fabric was not enough. It's too light. I need to see more from that part. I think that we could put maybe a train or some type of big cape. Something more dramatic will complement her. Up next, I have Lares. Now, Lares, super beautiful. Again, another girl that had a crazy transition, a crazy transformation. That face is expensive. That face is beautiful. Now, I think that she did a really solid performance in swimsuit. Again, I have a problem with the gown. The gown is really pretty, but it looks like they didn't study how it looked on her. And it unfortunately makes her look wider. And I think that when you design a gown or you pick a gown, you want to make sure that your contestant looks the best possible. So this is my suggestion since there's a very limited time. I don't know if the designer, I don't even know who the designer is, so I apologize. But my suggestion would be, I don't know if you guys remember a former Miss Universe Philippines contestant. I think it was Krista? I might be wrong anyways. But she put these black panels on the dress and it made her look cinched. I think that doing something similar to that ASAP might be the perfect thing for that gown to work on stage for her and make her look the best possible. But again, she's very beautiful. I love her face. Expensive. She's expensive. Now let's go to the top 3. Second runner-up. The second runner-up is Hayuya. Now Hayuya is stunning. I've liked her from the very start. Now there is a problem. For some reason, there is, at least for me, there is something that I don't know why I can't connect 100% with her. There's something kind of off that I can't connect with her, and I hope I do. Maybe it's just me, but there's something that I feel like is not 100% there yet. To be Miss Universe Puerto Rico, there has to be just like this overwhelming aura of winner, and I don't know if it's exactly there 100%. The gown, I'm very disappointed. It was so simple. And again, a lot of people could argue, hey, this is prelims. All you have to do is a sufficient job to get into that top 15. But I don't believe in that. I believe in you go full force, you give everything you have, because this is your opportunity to make yourself seen. And if you are too not memorable, then people will forget about you. So I think that gown, while it is beautiful, I think that it needed more. So hopefully she transforms that gown and it's way better and we have more energy on stage. Another factor for her and me putting her in second runner-up is that her English isn't very good. And the reality, and this is what I'm going to mention with this top 3, the reality is that every single year, the mold that we have had at Miss Universe Puerto Rico for the winner has been the same. And it is the same mold that has worked every single year. And I don't know if she completely fits that mold, especially with the English speaking. Now, my first runner up, and this is very hard. I feel like my first runner up and my winner could switch spaces, and even Hayuya could switch. I really don't know. I think this is a year where it's very confusing and anything can happen. And I think that ultimately what happens in the final night is really going to determine who wins. It's not like other years. But my first runner up is Dorado. Now, Dorado, it is undeniable that she will have Thai fans in Miss Universe riled up, and people will be very excited for her. But there are some things that aren't there all the way. I think that the English isn't there, and it is really important for her to connect, for our contestant to connect with as many people as possible. And again, it goes back to that mold that I was talking about. I think that mold is set in stone, and that is one of the most important things, that if you look back, every single Miss Universe Puerto Rico in the last in the last decade, I guess, has spoken English very well and fluently. But it is no doubt that Dorado has this stage presence that no one can deny, and she's infectious, and I think that she could easily pull off a victory. It's just going to depend, is those influences that are happening in Miss Universe, because if we take a look at this, the last two queens aren't necessarily the best speakers in English. Shanice didn't speak English very well. And it seems like performance-wise, that's the thing that was most important last year. So, is that going to translate in Miss Universe Puerto Rico? I guess we'll see. It really depends. But the mold that I've been seeing every single year, I don't know, like I said, if she fulfills that whole thing. Now, my winner, and again, this was very hard, but my winner for Miss Universe Puerto Rico 2025 is Coamo. Now, Natalia is absolutely stunning. I don't understand the people criticizing her about her facial features. I think that we've had contestants that have had, let's say, worse facial features than her, and they have been very successful in Miss Universe Puerto Rico, or in Miss Universe in the international competition. Now, I will say that Coamo is an actress. Coamo is a singer. She is so many things. She's a great speaker in English and Spanish. I think that's really important. The way that she projects herself is really interesting, and it doesn't seem forced. It seems like she's being natural. And then let's just talk about the performance all around on stage at the prelim. It was probably one of the best performances overall. And that is what I'm doing when I'm choosing my winner or predicting a winner. I think, who is the person that fulfills the boxes of what Miss Universe Puerto Rico has been looking for? And I think Natalia from Coamo is that person. That gown was spectacular. Please do not change it. The only suggestions that I would say for her, and I've spoken with her makeup artist about this, is I think that on stage, camera-wise, her eyes looked a little dark, and I think that's the only suggestion that I would say to them. And then maybe pump it up a little bit, the hair. I think that it could be a little bigger, but apart from that, I think that her performance was great. The gown was spectacular. Please don't change it. And yeah, I think that she might be our best card for Miss Universe 2025. Now, I want to hear your opinion, guys. I know this was a very long video, but I really wanted to tell you everything I felt. It feels strange coming back on here. I'm about to edit this, and I can't wait to hear from you guys. I hope you guys still remember me. And yeah, I want to hear who you think will win Miss Universe Puerto Rico. I will be reading and replying to every comment, and thank you so much for your love and support. And yeah, if you have any friends that love pageantry, share this video with them. So yeah, we can discuss and see who we think will be Miss Universe Puerto Rico. I will see you guys later. Thank you so much. Bye.